All right, why make business harder than it needs to be? Now, I was having a conversation with this lady only a few weeks ago, and she said to me, "Look, Jason, one area in my business that's really struggling, I'm really struggling with, it's really letting me down, is closing the sales." She goes, "Now, look, I have no problems getting someone in to the sales appointment. I feel very comfortable when it's just building rapport, very good at asking the questions of what they're struggling with, or even providing them with a solution and explaining how I could help them get there." But she said, when it comes time to the close, when it comes time to do the end part, I just clam up, gets nervous, stammer, and I don't really know what to say. I don't know the segue into it. And I said to her, "Look, well, how much sales training have you done?" She said, "Look, I did a little bit many years ago. I did a course, and but it's been some time." And so the first point here, the pro tip to stop and look at is that, if you've done something once, it doesn't mean you're going to be excellent at it. Like after about 18 years of being in business, probably a bit longer than that now. I forget. I don't like to think about my age at this point. But no, jokes aside, I'm continuously learning more and more about sales. It's like training, right? It's the same principle. You don't just train and get fit and then you stop training. You're right. So I said to her, "Look, it's probably an easy fix in terms of you've identified the key area that you're letting your business down on, and that's the next part of this video, is to look at the smart thing that she had. Is she did track all of her stats and figures, and what I mean by that is that I said to her, "Look, okay, well, what's your conversion rate like?" And it ended up being about 30%, so really, really low. She was getting the leads. She had that part figured out. She was getting people into the appointments, but then she just wasn't closing. Now, the first tip here is that if you're not tracking your stats in your business, you can't manage, you can't correct, and you can't improve what you can't track and measure. And so, lucky for her, she had those stats. And look, the reality is when you do start tracking your stats and figures, it can become quite confronting, because then you've got the evidence right in front of you, what's working, what's not. And if you're not stopping at least twice a month to review the progress of your business, then you are really just running the hope plan and hoping it all works out. And so we sat down, and what we worked out was that she had quite a good client retention. Clients were staying with her for 2 or 3 years. We worked out her average dollar sale was quite high, so around about the $100 mark per week. And they stayed with her for that period of time. Now, if you look at that, you go, right, $100 per week, average dollar sale, that is, over the course of a month, it's $400. Course of the year, we're talking about almost $5,000. Now, what we looked at is over the 3 months that she'd been just trying to battle through, and hopefully things would change by themselves. We worked out that she pretty much had lost, I think we worked out that she had not converted about 15 appointments. Now, if you look at 15, times that $5,000 per year, we're talking about a significant amount of money. And that's the issue I see with most businesses that come across our table. So in 10 years, over 10 years time, we've seen thousands of PT via PT workshops. We have 100-something clients come through our programs every year. And it's always the same thing. It's the same thing. Very few PTs are tracking their stats and figures. They have no KPIs, no targets in place. They don't stop regularly each month to look at it, because I guess the reality is if you do stop and look at the results, it can be confronting, because there you go, now, I'm not doing as good as I actually am pretending I'm doing in my mind, and now I might have to actually do something about it. And so it can be confronting. And I had that, for myself many years ago when I first started. I just didn't want to look at the stats. Because maybe it said the wrong number, and I didn't want to be confronted with that. So that was probably the deep-seated reality of it. However, if you are in business, like what we've got to snap out of is we don't want to make business harder than what it needs to be. And if we're tracking these stats and we can see it in black and white when it's not working, then it gives us the ability to go and want to change those areas of our business. And it just takes that persistency, a bit of patience, and being disciplined enough to sit down and go, right, what areas of my business aren't working? And, do I have the ability to change them on myself, or do I need to get help? Because if you don't have business partners, you don't have a team, all that kind of stuff, board of directors, then you are wearing a lot of hats. You're the technician, you're the admin person, you're the bookkeeper, you're the marketer, it's a lot to actually try to master. And so the thing is, when you do get your stats and you look at it, you go, right, well, what I need to be tracking is my leads coming in per month, and where are they coming in from, what's working, what's not. Could we improve that? What I noticed that when we get leads in, we convert about 30% of them into appointments. So then you can start to do some more predictions. If we increase those areas and get a better result, then that's going to mean more income, more clients, helping more people, etc. And so back to this lady, the one thing I said to her, I said, look, we figured out the cost of what it's costing you not to address this issue. And I said to her, do you have a plan to do that? She said, oh, I guess I've started to read some books and, I'm trying to figure it out. There was two parts to it. One is I needed to work with her a little bit with her emotional intelligence. So to be able to get her to be calm under a set of circumstances with a bit more pressure. So that was one part that we worked on. And the next part was actually just giving her a clear segue into how to close properly and to address it. Now, we got to the point where we're talking about the fee to get a solution for that answer. And of course, because I sat down, we'd worked out, and she already knew it, to her credit, she knew how much money she had potentially lost. And when it came time to presenting the solution to her, and it was my turn to tell her the costing that it was going to be to get a solution to that, she just laughed. She said, what I've realized, Jason, is that, it's like my potential clients that come to me, they're always waiting or putting something off, and the cost it's going to cost them in healthcare and operations and all that stuff far outweighs what it would have been if they let me provide the solution. So she could see, and she had the integration of that a solution and a cure a solution is always cheaper than the cost of not doing about it. And she just laughed when she saw, what it was going to cost. She goes, look, it's probably cost me $50,000, $60,000 in missed opportunity. No, the stress that it's caused me, the sleepless nights, all that stuff, not enjoying the process. And she goes, for less than, $15,000 to get a solution. She goes, it's 3 clients. If I could have even got my conversion from 35%, where it is now, up to 65 to 75%. She goes, she says, a no-brainer. And so that's part of what I want to talk to you about now. It's like you got to switch your mind to go. Sometimes we can look at the cost or investment to get some help, versus what it's currently costing me at the moment to stay the same way. And what you'll find is it's significantly different. So if you actually were honest with yourself and looked at what have I missed out on, missed opportunities because I'm not good at skills in terms of sales, closing, marketing, all that stuff, I guess you'd be really surprised at how much it has actually truly cost you not to find a solution for it. So the first thing I want you to do this week is I really want you to stop and sit down and map out what are the key areas of my business that I need to get honest with. I need to really see how am I performing, and then put a figure on it. Now, this isn't supposed to be that comfortable. This is not supposed to be like a happy day moment, but for some of you it will be. You go, look, I can really embrace this, to go, look, now I actually am being honest with myself, and I'm looking at the evidence, and it's not good. It's not going to take me towards where I'm going. And you can make a decision right now to go, I've had enough of it. It stops today. Today I'm going to take some form of action to move me out of this and move forward, because the reality is, if I don't do anything about it right now, we can all predict what's going to happen. If we don't address a cut on the leg that was just probably insignificant, if we actually took the time to address it, cleaned it up, let it get infected, down the track it's going to be amputated. So it can be a lot worse if we don't just stop and be honest and go, right, I need to get some help, I need to get some support, I need to address this part of the business not working. Otherwise, the consequences are going to be a lot greater. So sometimes it takes somebody else like myself or somebody else that you've heard that can, really hit us between the eyes and go, look, time to really address these issues and stop putting up with just, what we're doing at the moment. So look, I hope that's helped. Look, if you do need help and you would like some assistance, it always starts with the first step. It always just starts with just reaching out. It's like make an inquiry. It's not, no one's going to die by doing it. Like message us on Facebook. Go to our website, createptwealth.com.au. Check out what we do. Just make an inquiry. Or if you know somebody else that you think can help you, just do something. Don't just sit there and try to do it all on your own. There are plenty of good people out there that are willing and have a great desire to want to help you to succeed. So take some form of action, do something a little bit different, and look forward to our next live video and potentially hearing from you. All right, bye for now.